Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Maheshkariya. You're watching me on YouTube now, and in this today's session, I'm gonna take you through Graphene with Python. So without wasting any time, let's deep dive into it. So Graphene is a library that allows you to communicate between all the operations that you are going to perform on the top of GraphQL. So yeah, I guess this is all we need to do, and we are going to perform all the basic operations with using Graphene in Python, and it's not related to any web framework. So if you are planning to implement in any web framework, Fast API, Flask, or Django, so you have to do it on your own. But once you understand the core concept, how it works, how the library works, that's the part we are going to cover in this session. And let's see how it goes and hope for the best. And I'm doing this for the second time only. So but I know the concepts how it works. Okay, so yeah, I guess we can start now. So I'm gonna start with my creating new folder on desktop, and I'm gonna name it Graphene, and Graphene, not in capital. Okay, and simply drag your folder on the top of your VS Code, and we are good to go now. Let me resize this thing so it will be visible to you guys. And Command plus J if you are on Mac, or Command plus Control plus backtick if you are on Windows, in order to open the terminal, or you can open terminal from here as well. Then I'm gonna create a new Python project with virtual env. So for that I'm gonna use Python -m and virtual env space venv. Okay, it's going to create a new folder python 3 I'm going to use, of course. So it's going to create a new folder that is venv that you can see here, and now I need to activate that one. So for that I'm going to use source, and which is going to be venv. Inside that bin slash activate. If you are on windows, the process will be different. Instead of uh, that we need to use script. Okay, for there. So yeah, I guess now we can create new files. Like few files are needed: query, mutation, type, main file. That's it. Four files are needed in order to perform the operation. And you can create a data layer as well, SQLite or whatever it may be. But for now, the query is something. Let me create side by side. So app.py, where we are going to write the code with using that graphing. So I let me open this thing. Sorry, let me open this thing. So here I'm gonna search for graphene-python.org. So this is a site that we need to search, and you just need to click here on get started. And here in type references you will understand everything from scratch. But in get started, the package is given, this one. So I just need to install this package, okay, in order to proceed. So I'm gonna create this. Let me install this package first, and then only we can perform with the further operations. So here I'll need a query dot py, then I'll need a mutation dot py. So let me tell you what is this. Query is something that allows you to fetch the data with using query. So you can write all the things which will be a part of uh, to fetch the data. Okay, that's the methods that we are going to write here. And all the mutation, it's related to the create, update, and delete kind of things. So yeah, this is all we need to do. For now, I need a type dot py, where the type schema is we need to define here. So this is the file where we'll define the main entity, how it will look like. Okay, and yeah, I guess this is all we need to do. We can create a data layer as well, so where all the basic users, I guess, the list of users will write here. The single entry I'm doing right now, so rest of the operation will perform later. So I'll put it as a string now. Then there will be a name will be Mahesh. There will be email will be Mahesh again at gmail.com. After that, I'll need a password where I'm going to write Mahesha23, which is not my official password, of course. And yeah, so we'll start with the type thing. So type where we need to import graphene first, or object ID. So import graphene, or we can from graphene import object ID, object type, sorry. And where I'm gonna create a class which is kind of user, where I'm gonna write type object ID. It will be inherited by that object ID, where we can write the id going to be uh, graphene dot string. Okay, so this is going to be string that we need to import from here only. Okay, string. Then let me grab this thing for 3 more times for name, email, and password. Okay, name, email, and password. Okay, this is it. This is all we need to do in order to write the entity. So there can be any number of entities: user, address, employees, blah blah blah, accounting stuff, and all the things that you can create like the way. Okay, so the model type that you need to define here. Now let's come to the query part, where few things we need to define. And that would be, so I'm gonna grab again, graphene is needed. And now we need to import object ID again, object type. From data we need to import users. Okay, so now we need a class query, and here I need to write the object type again. This will be my object type, and rest of the things will write here. So like def all the get operations, so get users and get user by id. So get resolve we need to write first, resolve get user, and where we need to pass root info and one thing id. Okay, so for searching the user we need id, so that's what we are going to pass here. So return, we'll say list. Inside that we'll use a filter, and filter will be a kind of lambda user. Okay, and on that particular user id, on that user id we are going to check that this user id is equal to the id that we have provided. Okay, and all the operations we need to get the first index value, and we'll return that value. So same another method we need, which will be preceded by resolve. Okay, make sure this naming convention. So get users, and inside that get users we again need root info. Okay, and we don't need anything, I guess. This is it. And here we are going to return users directly. Okay, so all the users that we have. So these are the two methods that will be part of query, and the rest of the thing will be part of mutation, and where all the kind of tricky part comes into the picture. So we'll start with the importing graphene for now. So we'll get all the common things, no need to import one by one. And hopefully you are using PyCharm or something, so you don't need to write input statement that I'm doing right now. Okay, so from type I need to import user. Then from data we need to import users. Okay, and now we can good to go. Like we are gonna create a very first class which will be a create user. Okay, so like that, and where this will be my mutation. Okay, so I can use now graphene dot mutation. Okay, and inside that I'm gonna create a class arguments, okay, and all the arguments which will be my id. Okay, id which will be type of graphene dot string. Okay, then I'd say same goes for name, email and password 123. Okay, password, email and name. Okay, why I'm writing this two time, you can like, it's all your choice. You can make the changes as well according to your choice, or you can optimize the code as well. So it's all your choice, but let me write first, and I'll explain this thing in a while. Okay, so here once this is done, we need to uh, provide a graphene field. Okay, so we can get that field there while calling it. Okay, so here in field I'm gonna provide lambda user, and that lambda user would be like this, and this user that we are going to send the type user. Okay, yeah, this is it. Now we can create a function mutate. Okay, and inside that mutate we are going to pass the things like info. Okay, then id for now, you can create auto generate as well id if you want. Otherwise you can provide the fields manually as well. For now I'm gonna provide the field manually. Okay, so like we need name, email, password. Okay, and here we go. This is it, I guess. Now user, which where I need to pass id, name, email and password. So will be equal to password. Okay, so why I'm writing this? Because while calling it from front end, you can provide specific things like I want a name only, I want password only. Inside, while getting all the users, unlike a RESTful API, you can manipulate with the data that which thing that I want in return. Okay, it's controllable. You can control the things according to your choice. So that's the beauty. But the in a while writing code, it's little tricky. We need to write redundant kind of things. So yeah, we can optimize things as well. So it's all about choice, like how you're writing or implementing your projects. You need to work upon that accordingly. You can create the separate classes using inheritances. You can optimize the code as well. It's all your choice then. Okay, so that's how we got the thing, and now inside that users we just need to append the data. And while appending the data, we need to make sure that this thing is in double quotation and this is id. Okay, same with name. Name, here is email, here is email, here is password, which should be inside double quotation. Okay, so yeah, this is it. So here I'm gonna append the data, and now while returning the data you just need to call the function again with user. Okay, so like the way you can call the function again. So let me close this up. Let me grab this entire code for deleting and updating. So first we'll update the data. So here I'm gonna write update user. The fields are going to be common, uh, because the most of the code is common already. Now what I can do here, I can first get that particular thing with the code that I have used in the query. Okay, like the way. So From that we'll get the old user. Okay, so now inside that users we are going to remove old user. Okay, so and then we will append the new user. So like the way we can do the things which is little um, tricky, you can write according to your choice. And here also you need to write the update user. So I guess this is it. Now we can proceed with delete thing. So where no need to implement uh, this thing, name, email and password. So of course I need to remove this thing, name, email and password. Okay, and this thing, the user that will get later from here. Okay, so that old user that will get from id only, and that we are going to pass it here, name, email and password. So like the way we are going to pass it here while deleting user. And sorry, it should be inside square braces. Okay, and okay, so yes, I guess, no, sorry. What I did, password is there, email is there, name is there, and password should be. So yeah, this is it. I'm not sure why this is not working though, but let me change the size. Old user, yeah, this is perfect now. So we got the id, which should be old user, let's say dot id. I'm not sure why I'm facing issues with that keyboard, but it's fine. Looks good to me. Now let's append the new code. And while we don't need to append, I guess, because we are deleting the data only. So here I can simply return a user, and this is it. This is all we need to do. And let's go to the app.py, where the coding part is now really very easy. Just need to import the data, required data, that's it. So once again, import graphene, then from mutation import create user, update user and delete user. I'm not getting that delete user, might be something wrong with that. So delete, no need to write this thing. So and now this is okay. Okay, looks good. And now delete user. Okay, now from query import query. Okay, and now from type import user. Okay, now we need to create two classes for my mutations. Okay, and where we are going to use graphene dot mutation, oh sorry, object type. And inside here we just need to write all the functions that we are going to create, like create user, and which will be my create user dot field, update user, which will be my update user dot field, delete user, which will be my delete user dot field. Okay, so that's it, that's all we need to do. And for query part as well, we can define my, this will be your optimal code. So there's a kind of proper way to create a separate root mutation and root query file, so where you can import all the things one by one. So for query part as well, I'm gonna use my query, and inside that my query I'm gonna grab the query, and will be extended by the query. Okay, so we can implement few methods over there. Okay, so like for user, whenever we use this user keyword, we need to fetch the data of user, so like this. Okay, and to get a particular user, we need to use a field where we need to pass the data, and we need to pass the id. Okay, like this. And this id we need to import from here. I'm not sure that why this came into the picture, because the string will be part of graphene only. So I'm gonna write a graphene. Let's import something here. From graphene, import field string. Okay, and yeah, this is it. So now get users, where it will be type of list, I guess, the list of users we are going to get here. Okay, so that list we need to import it from here only. Okay, so here this is it. And now we just need to call this thing using schema, and in that schema I'll say graphene dot schema. Okay, and inside that schema I'll say query will be my query. Okay, and mutations will be my mutations. So this is it, this is all we need to do. And we just need to call these things once, if everything is running fine, then let me quit this, and let me call python app dot I, and yeah, everything is fine. We are not getting any errors here, so we can proceed with calling the function, I guess. So let me enable this thing globally, so I'll get the suggestions result equal to uh, schema dot execute, and here we'll get the mutation part. Okay, where we can write, first we'll write a create user, where we'll pass all the things. Okay, uh, mahesh at gmail.com, then password will be password. In user, in return what we want from user, that's what I'm writing here. So in line number 13 you can see, while returning user, it will be, we can choose like what we want and what we don't want, like name, email and password we want in return. Okay, so you can choose this thing accordingly. And let's finish this thing, and let's call this thing print the result. That's it. So let me call this thing. I'm sure that this part is perfect. And let me call here. So I'm just trying to create a new user. So yeah, boom, got created. So now let me write data in order to delete something from here, so I don't need to grab this thing. Now I'll say result.schema.execute. Okay, mutation again. While here I'm gonna say update user, and I'm going to update the same user that I have. uh, the id of that is 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm gonna change it to something else. Okay, so in return as well, I want name, email ID, and password. And here we go. Thanks to Copilot, no need to worry about the thing. Okay, now I'm using John Doe here. Okay, I'm gonna use John Doe here as well. I just need to change uh, the data. Okay, something else here. I guess it should update the first one. Okay, because we already have a data where the Mahesh is given, so in return we should get this thing. Oh my god, if we are getting error, I'm not sure. Update data, none. Wow. So we got the error already. In update, we are not getting anything. So like the way in create, we are getting something, but in update, we are not getting the data back. So let's try the other things till then. We'll fix this in a while. Now here, I'll say schema is equal to, oh my god, schema.execute once again. And now this time it will be for delete user, where we can find id, name, email, and password in return. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, done and done. Okay, let me see if I made any mistakes over here. So schema.execute, it should be part of result. So result is equal to, okay, now this is perfect. Let me hit this thing again. So in delete user also, we are not getting the deleted data. It should return the deleted data. So let me check the type where I'm using string here. Okay, and let me try int here instead. Okay, in return it will change. Okay, no worries. So now let's try the get users quickly. Okay, now we need a query here. Okay, so GitHub Copilot is actually working really very nice. I don't know why lots of developers are not like making jokes on it, because for me it's really very working really very nice. I even don't need to. Okay, so I'm passing id as a 1, so I'm getting none. So somehow that users that we have made here in data, which is, it's not getting data from here, so it's fine, it's fine. But if I do something like, if I create user first, and then if I try to update and the further things, if I try it, then only it will work. Let me do this. So yeah, that one is working only. Now let's try the get all data. Okay, here I'm gonna have a query again where we need a get all users with id, name, email, and password. And here we go. Yeah, print data. Let me try this one. Yeah, so we are getting all the data. And so create one is working fine, get all users is working perfectly fine, no need to worry about this thing. But we'll go one by one why we are not getting this thing. Okay, so it should work because we have id with 1 actually. So for that we should get something over here. Okay, so might be we need to check first thing that get user is given here. Okay, so this one I was talking about. So get user is written over here, which is perfectly fine. And we are passing user here, and we are using id as a string, and that string is coming from Graphene. So this is fine. Now we'll go there in my query. where I'm writing this get user where I'm looking for this ID. Okay, and if I get this ID, then only. Okay, so users is not given here after that ID. So here I need to write users, then only it will perform operation on the top of that. So let me try again. Yeah, so we got the data. So okay, so one thing is resolved. Now the create part is also resolved in the mutation. And let's go to the update one, this one. Oh, here as well we need to write users. Okay, and same goes for here as well. So because of that thing only we were facing issues. uh, Now it will work. Now let me try other things like update user this time. So this is my update user that I'm going to uncomment, and I'm gonna save it. So yeah, let me try this one. So yeah, this is working fine. So hopefully the rest of the things will work as well. So yeah, I guess we can stop here. And thank you so much all of you guys for being with me, supporting me all the time. It's been pleasure to be here. Please let me know inside comment box what you want from my side. Definitely I'll make it for you. And don't forget to subscribe my channel if you haven't already, and smash that like button. And you can use this thanks button as well. Even $1 is enough to grow our channel. So thank you so much. Bye bye. Good day.